movies of 2015 by the one and only Chris Stuckmann.
Guys, it is that time of year, my top 10 worst films of 2015. And since we're talking about some butt-ugly movies, I wore a butt-ugly sweater.
It's a nice sweater.
Guys, this year was one of the most anticipated years in a long time. Tons of huge movies were going to be out this year. A lot of people were really excited about 2015. And in some ways, some films really did deliver. These 10 films, they really didn't. Before I mention my pick for number 10, I have a couple dishonorable mentions. These are movies that were so terrible, but didn't quite make the list. The Gunman. Wow, Sean Penn has muscles. Everyone, look at Sean Penn's muscles. He's got the muscles. Who gives a shit, man? Your movie sucked. And Point Break, an absolutely unnecessary remake of a perfectly fun 90s action movie that was really just an X Games movie masquerading as a remake of Point Break. And man, did I hate it. And the next 10 are even worse. Number 10.
Taken 3, of course.
Taken 3. Why does this movie exist? It exists purely to be a trilogy. There's no reason for Taken 3 to exist. Maybe it's because Taken 2 made a shit ton of money. Why did Taken 2 make so much money? Because the first one was actually good! They took the same director from Taken 2 and made a shaky, incomprehensible mess of an action movie.
Hitman.
Hitman Agent 47, or as I like to call it, a feature-length commercial for Audi cars. The first one sucked and didn't do well, so they decided to make the exact same film again with a different actor because they thought apparently if they did the exact same thing that failed first again, that for some reason it would be successful the second time. It wasn't.
Hot Pursuit, of course.
I had to watch that in theaters with other people. If there was one word to describe Hot Pursuit, it would be annoying. It is without a doubt the most annoying film I sat through this entire year. Reese Witherspoon dragging Sofia Vergara around. Witherspoon played a plucky, very persistent cop, and Sofia Vergara was just Sofia Vergara. Oh, my shoes! Oh, my dress! Oh, my boobs! That's the whole movie. I'm serious. And it really worked. I mean, I was on the edge of my seat because I was half asleep and I almost fell out of my seat.
Jupiter Ascending, okay.
Jupiter Ascending. Now this is a movie I'm actually sad to say is on this list because it was an attempt at making an original science fiction movie. They actually tried to make an original different sci-fi action movie, the Wachowski siblings, and man did they fail. It felt like you had to read a 10,000 page long dictionary to understand the plot. Jupiter Jones was a terrible hero. She didn't do anything. She had to be rescued every other scene by Channing Tatum, who looked hilarious in wolf ears or something. This movie was so bad, Tatum didn't even want to promote it.
I don't even know what that is.
Outcast. Did anyone see this movie? I did. Nicolas Cage and Hayden Christensen in a straight-to-video on-demand movie. Well, that's all you need to know right there. The only thing this movie has going for it is an incredibly over-the-top Nicolas Cage performance that was awesome to see and entertaining in a so bad that it's good way. The rest of the movie was a poorly shot, hyperactively edited, disgusting-looking movie with Hayden Christensen really trying to act and failing. Paranormal Activity, The Ghost Dimension, or Paranormal Activity 6 if you want to call it that. Look, this movie was so bad, I didn't even sit down and do a traditional review.
Oh yeah,
I did a video
that.
called Thoughts on Paranormal Activity, The Ghost Dimension. It was a one-take video in which it was just my inner thoughts after leaving this film. You guys loved it. I had a ton of fun making that video, and it was my perfect way to describe how terrible this movie was. Inside, I didn't even feel like talking about it. And then I realized, just make a video out of that. Make a video about how much you don't want to review it, but while you're doing that, you're reviewing it in your brain, and you guys loved it. I had a lot of fun making it. Horror fans out there, like myself, if you like this movie, that's fine. But you've got to acknowledge what that movie was. Just another attempt to milk some more money out of your pockets just to see if they could make any more.
Yep, The Boy Next Door.
The Boy Next Door, starring Jennifer Lopez as an English literature professor. This movie was directed by Rob Cohen, who brought us great films like Stealth and Alex Cross. It was about a 40-something teacher who falls for a 19-year-old student who moves in next door, has sex with him, and then he becomes a crazy psychopath. My gosh, I hated this movie. It was just filled with Hollywood cliches.
Pixels doesn't even deserve to be on the list.
Pixels, starring Adam Sandler and all his friends. Guys, I'm the biggest retro gamer. I love retro games. I grew up playing a lot of the games that this movie is paying homage to. And my God, did I hate it. Kevin James as the President of the United States? I mean, the movie lost me when Adam Sandler and Michelle Monaghan got together. Kevin James going, I'm the president. Whoops, I dropped something. I'm so happy I'm Adam Sandler's friend. Where's Rob Schneider? And to all the people that told me that Pixels is actually a good movie, I'm glad you enjoyed it. I don't know what to say to that, though. I thought about these next two films very carefully because I hated both of them, and I thought, which film, if I were forced, would I want to watch more than the other? It's really hard.
We can't forget this movie.
Fant-4-Stick. I refuse to call this movie what they want me to call it. It's Fant-4-Stick. Look, maybe for like the first 40 minutes of this movie, it's just bad. It's not awful, but it's just bad. And a lot of people were like, oh, this movie's not that bad. It's not that great. Oh. From the second the words 1 year later appear on screen in Fant-4-Stick, this movie turns into an absolute disaster. I mean, it was terrible. You can see poor Kate Mara's wig changing in and out as they do reshoots. It's atrocious. It's so bad. The third act of this movie is a green screen mess with somebody dressed sort of like Dr. Doom, but it's kind of like a cosplay Dr. Doom. Like somebody in their basement made an okay costume that would look amazing at Comic-Con and shit in a Hollywood movie. I hated it. Just drop it with these characters. Fant-4-Stick, you failed. You're the fourth one in a row to do it. We're done. And now it's that time. My most hated film of 2015. The one film that I just can never imagine watching again. And that would be... 50 Shades of Grey.
Don't joke.
I apologize. I almost died saying that name again. It's not just the movie that I hated so much. It's the entire thing surrounding 50 Shades of Grey. An author writing a Twilight fan fiction and then changing the names in certain locations to adapt it into her own fan fiction. Then that becoming a novel filled with grammatical errors and terrible writing. And then that becoming a movie and me sitting in a theater with a bunch of middle-aged women who at times did moan. I'm not kidding, the air in that theater was humid. I felt sick to my stomach. It was disgusting. It is the very thing that I hate about movies. Oh, it's a popular thing. That thing definitely sucks, and we know it sucks, but hey, we can make some money off of it. We'll make it a movie, and we'll make 2 more. Who knows, maybe they'll make 3 more and split the last book into 2 parts. Yay! The best word I can pick to describe this movie-going experience was awkward. I hated every second of it. We have a male star who didn't even want to be in the nude. How do you hire a male actor for a movie like this who doesn't want any nudity? That's crazy! And our lead character, played by Dakota Johnson, was one of the weakest characters of cinema this entire year. She doesn't even like BDSM, and she just keeps letting him do it to her, and she keeps going back to him because it's all she can think about. Because, you know, I don't know, fucking Twilight shit. Man, I hated that movie. I don't ever have to talk about those movies again!
Yay!
Yay! Guys, those are my picks for the worst movies of 2015. What are yours? I want to know. Tell me, what are your worst theater going experiences this year? I want to know below. Guys, 2015 was great. I just want to personally thank you for taking this ride with me for yet another year. I've had a great time doing it. You guys are the best. I will see you in 2016. Have a good one. If you like this, you can click right here and get Stuckmanized.
In piece of crap January, we'll see. That'll be unfortunate. But then it's February, and then it's Deadpool.